Good morning, gang. Good morning. Welcome to this week's altcoin update. First and foremost, big shout out to Prime XBT for sponsoring today's stream. On Prime, you can trade multiple markets, not just cryptocurrencies, but you can also trade Forex, commodities, and stock indices. And if you use promo codes in the description, you can get up to a $7,000 deposit bonus, and if you use the second code, you can also get up to 25% off trading fees. So once again, Prime XBT, if you want to find out more information, use the links down in the description. First and foremost, gang, remember, everything discussed today is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is just for educational purposes only. Do your own research and all that good stuff. This is just my view of the market. So, quick recap. Following on from last week, obviously we know what's been happening in the crypto market. If you don't, then have you been living under a rock? Obviously last week we were talking about NEAR and KDA. So let's bring up a quick snippet. This is what we were looking at on NEAR last week. We were saying that if we lost the current range, bear in mind we just lost the value area low of the current range, we're potentially looking down at this consolidation here. And if this consolidation here didn't hold, then ultimately I'd be looking down at this point of control. Now, fast forward to today. Obviously, we lost this range, this value area low that we were looking at. We lost this range low. And now we've come into this consolidation here. And obviously, we've got a little bit of volume within here as well. We can see here this from the overall volume profile from inception to where we are now. So we're currently hovering around in this. So now what I'm looking for is effectively this to be the new range. Obviously over yonder, and if this range low doesn't hold, then my eyes are still firmly on that point of control, which again, as we've said last time, is roughly around $1. So it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out what round numbers mean when it comes to trading and crypto. Okay, lose that point of control, then ultimately I'm looking for this value area low, which effectively would be a full retrace. So yeah, this is what we're looking at on NEAR. The other one we were looking at last week was KDA. This obviously we were saying at the time, this is a relatively young shitcoin. Let's zoom in a little bit more. And what we were saying at the time, let's have a look. There we go. So we were saying that currently bouncing around at the value area low / the overall range lows. We were looking maybe a liquidity sweep. Swing failure, back on day here, take these stops, reclaim back up, and then you've got a long, looking for that point of control. Failing that, using our range fib tool, looking at either the first target or the second target, and the second target coming in roughly around 81 cents. Now, once again, fast forward to where we are. The first target had a NAFL reaction. So, as we do take trades based on reactions, this quite clearly, we just blasted straight through. And then we've hovered around this level, so therefore there's no trade there. And then next we're looking down for the outer extremity of the range fib tool that we use, which, as we were saying, it's roughly around 81 cents. And this is what we got. We're slightly front running by, a fraction of a cent. And then we've got a little bit of a bounce, and now we're just hovering around here again. Ultimately, if this does not hold now, bear in mind we've got no prior history on this chart. If this doesn't hold now, then I'd be looking to take this range a little bit further and extending it to incorporate this data here. So we're using the full data. We've still got respect around the EQ. We've got respect around the highs. And now we can see here, we do have respect at this level a little bit more clearly. And to the low side, we'll be looking at roughly around 70 cents. So obviously, if the current lows don't hold, based on how we had the range fib tool before, then I'll be looking down here. Again, it's very difficult. What you want to do is you want to see price come down, and ideally you want to start to see some strength forming. If you're seeing no strength forming, then just carry on letting it drop if needs be. But if it does come down, gets a reaction, and then starts creating a new uptrend, then potentially looking for longs. Now, does that mean looking for longs and then looking for all-time highs? No, it doesn't. It means looking for longs and then playing it level to level. We've quite clearly got a new SR level here. If this happens, get above there, then I'll be looking for this value area low here, / these old range lows. Get a reaction off there, you've got a short trigger. Get no reaction off there, then you'll be looking for a reclaim in then, and continue it up. Again, level to level. You've got the point of control here, which is coming in roughly around 158. And again, it's level to level. It's level to level. You know, we're not in long hold and forget market yet. You know, the whole market's still in a downtrend. Everything's still in a downtrend. So you're fighting against the trend, and you're just hoping that you're going to catch the bottom. But realistically, you know, you want some security in that. You want to start to see a range form. You want to start to see good accumulation. You know, this could have been accumulation, like I was saying last week. This could have been accumulation, but it turns out it wasn't. Which is why, if you were longing in this and starting to accumulate, you know, you still needed to have some risk management in place. Because then that way, if it does drop down, it stops you out. Yes, you take a loss, but obviously it's within your risk management, and then you're looking for your next level of interest. Okay? So that's that. So, we tweeted this morning asking for you guys to let us know what shitcoins you want to look at. And the highest votes that we had were Atom and Matic. So, we're going to look at those two today. Right, so first and foremost, let's stick with Atom. Now, obviously, Atom's got a decent bit of history with it. Let's look at this. Let's zoom out to the weekly so we can see this. Right, okay. So, first and foremost, first observations, and this is what you need to be looking at. You need to be looking at a top-down view. So, we're looking at the monthly. Well, the monthly, credit high, low, lower low. Is this a lower high looking for another lower low, or is this finally starting to turn around? So, at the moment, the monthly's still in a downtrend. The weekly, still in a downtrend. Obviously, we've got this low. We've got a lower high, lower low, lower high, and then we've taken out this weekly candle here. So the weekly's still in a downtrend. What does the daily look like? Well, obviously, the daily's taken out these lows. So again, the daily, every high time frame structure is in a downtrend right now. You know, could it turn around? Yes, it could turn around. It could turn around at any point, but we could have said that all the way back here. It could have turned around at any point. So, shorts are still in favour. Bears are still in control until this proves itself and turns around and starts making higher highs and higher lows. Okay? So, first things first. Let's straight back on the weekly. Let's get, like we usually do, a volume profile on the whole lot to see where the bulk of the volume is. So we can see that the majority of the volume is down here. Obviously, and it's pretty obvious because this would have been your accumulation before blast off. And obviously, as price starts lifting off, people are slowly getting out of the bags, selling into FOMO retail, that's buying in up at the top because they're being told that it's going to go up to $100, $200, whatever crazy price targets people are giving you, and then it comes back down again. And as we can see here, back inside this value area high, we came in, back tested it, came down, deviation outside of it, and now we're back within this value area. So ultimately, this is the range that we're playing with right now. Because we've been accepted now back into this value area. You know, we've had a decent weekly closing here, we've had this deviation out here, get everybody bullish like on a lot of other shit coins. You know, everyone got bullish again, everyone thought lows in. And, you know, it could be. I'm not saying this can't be the low, this could be the low. But when you're up here, this isn't the time to start getting bullish. You know, if you're bullish long term, you want to maintain this structure. You didn't want this to happen here. Okay? So, what we're looking for here? Well, first and foremost, looking at this, looking at the volume profile here. So obviously we've got a bit of a ledge here around this level. And if we zoom in onto the monthly, does this make it any easier to see? Yes, it does. Right, so we can see to the downside, we've got a fresh monthly SR level at this level. Now, if we zoom back on this, we can see that it's actually got respect. We've got a high here. We've got these two wicks into the level here. Break through it here, backtest here, and move on. So what we can say is we're potentially looking at this level here. In fact, let's just draw it on here as the range. Let's zoom this out to the left, and let's change the colour so we can see it a little bit easier. There we go, we'll have this in blue, and we'll have the EQ still in red. And the beauty of this EQ is it lines up with the point of control. So, what are we looking at? Well, first and foremost, let's go back up to the weekly. There we go. So if price does continue to roll over, well, in fact, actually, let's look to the upside first. If we do get a pump here, then first thing to consider is this value area high, which is roughly coming in, call it $12 for easy numbers, right? So if price does get a rally up to this value area high, then I'm going to be looking for a reaction here. If we get a reaction here, then I'll be trading this back down. And ultimately, I'll be looking to take out these current lows and probably come down to this region here, which, as we just saw on the monthly chart, this is a fresh monthly level. And if you're bullish, then you're praying for that to hold. Okay? If that holds, then you'll be looking for a bounce. Change your market structure, get a bounce. If that doesn't hold, and we do come down, and we lose this level, back into here, take out these lows. Let's just change this colour because it's annoying me. Take out these lows, then quite simply, you're targeting the EQ / the point of control. So, you know, this is coming in roughly around 431 to 397, give or take. Okay? If that fails to hold, then, yep, we're looking down at this value area low / this overall range low. Okay? But I'm hoping for a bounce at this level, because obviously this is the point of control. We can see how much volume is in this point of control. So if it comes back down there, bear in mind it's not visited this point of control now since December 2020. So that's a long time ago. So if it does come back towards this point of control, I would be looking for a reaction there. I'm not saying it's definitely going to happen, but probabilities are that you would hopefully get a reaction. So that's what I'd be looking for down there. Okay, just get rid of these. Now, what happens if it does continue up and it gets beyond this value area high? Well, if it gets outside of this value area high and continues upwards, then first and foremost, we're targeting these highs. Take the high, get a pullback. If it then continues up, take the high, get a pullback. If it then continues up, then we may start getting a bit of a run on. So then what can we see there? Well, let's get a fib from high to the current low. And we can see where the golden pocket lands. Well, the golden pocket lands here, which is also in line with this SR region here. So if you do manage to get all this, then I'll be looking at this golden pocket region here, which is around 2267-ish. Okay? And I'll be looking for a pullback there. Again, it'd be another interesting area to potentially look at some shorts. You know, that would be a significant rally from the lows. That, you know, you're talking about that's nearly a 300% rally. I mean, it's already had a 200% rally. You know, people are thinking that this is just being down only, but, you know, that's a 200% rally there. That's a good bear market rally. Okay? So that's the plan. If it does get out of this value area, look for these highs initially. If these highs don't cause a significant pullback, then I'll be looking ultimately up at this golden pocket around here. Gets above that, then again you're targeting these highs. You've got fresh SR levels up here, and then above that, then you're probably looking for some fun times. Okay, so we're still in this level to level environment. You know, don't start buying and hoping and praying. You know, your first clue that this was going to start breaking back down again once we took out these lows here. We took out these lows and we're still continuing this downtrend. So it's not a time to get overly bullish, but it's also not a time to get overly bearish. You know, if price does come back down to this point of control in these EQs, then that's just an opportunity. But, you know, I say this within our group, you know, people that weren't around last cycle, you know, we're still, you're hanging on to old shitcoins. Now, you might believe in the projects, you might believe in the fundamentals, you might believe in the team, they might have a great community, and all that crap. But I truly don't care about that, because I care about what the charts give us. And what you're looking for in next cycle is chances are that, you know, the next shitcoins that are going to do your crazy 10x's, your 100x's and all that good stuff, ones that haven't even been created yet. You know, coins like Atom, Matic, all those, yeah, they likely will run again at some point. But it will be the newly created shitcoins that have the biggest runs, because that's what happens. That's what happens. That's why, you know, coins like XRP, coins like Link, Litecoin, Tezos, all those, they don't pump as much as they did in the first cycle, because it's old news, and that's what happens. Okay, so don't start hanging on to these old shitcoins and hoping that, you know, that they're going to bring you great riches. There's going to be so many new opportunities when the new bull market eventually does start. Okay, so that's Atom. To the upside, value area high, then these highs. To the downside, looking at 750-ish. Lose these lows, then ultimately I'm looking around this EQ and this point of control. Lose that, then yeah, doom and gloom. You're coming back down towards $2 slash $1. Okay. So that's Atom. Next, Matic. Now, Matic's an interesting one. So what I'm going to do with Matic is I'm going to throw it on log scale because we can see this better. Now I could really upset some bulls on this by saying what I'm going to say, but let's have a look. So first and foremost, do what we usually do. Throw on a volume profile of the whole thing. And lo and behold, as usual, all your volume is down here. You know, if you look at this volume profile, there's nothing even showing on it for up here. That's how much there is of a difference. Okay. What we could do is we could throw on a volume profile of this, and we can see here what's going on. So all the volume is down at the bottom end of this. All this is thin. Okay, all your volume's here. So how I'd be looking at this? Well, let's talk about, what should we talk about first? Should we talk about the upside first? Well, to the upside is quite easy. If we get a pump, then I'll be looking at this value area high here. If we take this out of log for the time being, and if we get a pump, I'll be looking to take out these highs, probably into this value area high here, which is roughly around 145. Take out that, then you're coming up into this fresh SR level here. Now we're looking on a weekly here, so this is around 170. Then above that, you'll be looking into this consolidation here. Okay, so they're your targets to the upside. Now, if one of these, if it does manage to pump up and one of these gives you a strong reaction, so for example, if we do get a pump up here and we get to this value high and you get a strong reaction, well, then you're looking for fresh shorts coming back down. Or if you are still in longs, then you'd be taking some profits off the table here. Okay, that's very, very simple, very, very basic. Now, what happens if it comes down? Well, if it comes down, starts coming down here, then ultimately we have got a nice consolidation block here. So if it does come down, it could potentially get a reaction in this zone. If it gets no reaction in that zone, then I'd be looking down at this point of control, hoping for a reaction down here. Now this point of control right now, it's roughly around 36, 37 cents. Now if you're bullish, ideally you don't want to lose that point of control and you don't want to take out these lows, thus confirming the downtrend continuation. And if that does happen and you take out these lows, then you're looking at this overall value area low here, which is roughly coming in at call it 28 cents for easy numbers. Now at that point, you've either got two options. I'd either be looking for a swing failure, which would take out the liquidity of these lows. So swing failure, back in, back up, and then again you're targeting this point of control, get above that point of control, and you're looking up towards the top of the range. Right? If this doesn't happen, and you do get these lows taken with no reaction, then I'm sorry to say, but you're going to be looking back down at this consolidation here, because that's where all the volume is. You've got a really thin move up here. Really thin. Yes, there might be bounces along the way, but there's a big inefficiency there. You know, similar to how we're looking at Bitcoin at the moment, similar to how a lot of shitcoins are looking. It's a big inefficiency. So if price does get acceptance out of this value area and starts to drop, then, you know, it could be a fairly quick drop. Now, bear in mind, we're looking at this on a weekly chart. If we look at it on the daily, well, yeah, it actually doesn't change much. Very thin still. Let's go back out to the weekly. So it's very thin. So if that does happen, then, you know, you're potentially looking for a big drop. So, you know, if you've not got your risk management in place and you are long in this hoping it's going to continue, then you're an absolute fool. You're an absolute fool. Because if this does go, then, you know, that's a big drop. That's dropping from, you know, the current lows, which is around 32 cents. And then you're potentially looking downward into this consolidation. We can see here that, you know, the volume starts to peak out around here, which kind of makes sense because this was before the ultimate breakout. If we just throw a Yeah, that works. That on there. Then ultimately, you know, I'd be looking up here around this value area high / range high. You know, potentially with a wick down through to this point of control, which is coming in roughly around 2 cents. You know, that's a big old drop. Now, I'm not saying this is going to happen. This is all if this, then that. And that's how you should trade, level to level. If this doesn't hold and price drops, then we're looking for trades down here. If this does hold, price comes back down to it and it does hold, then looking for longs. If this, then that. That's how you should always trade. We don't know which way it's going to go. All we're looking for is the highest probabilities of where we're going to see a reaction. Now, right now, as it stands, is the current range. You know, this point of control is one of the highest probabilities, in my opinion, because that's where all the volume is, mainly from this area here, but obviously we've got volume coming back in here. If this gets to the value area high, then I'll be looking for a reaction. You know, if this, then that. And that's all you have to do. It's just level to level. So I'm not saying this is going to happen. So before, you know, you start bashing me in the comment section below, you know, I'm not uber bearish, I'm not uber bullish. You know, for now, this range is holding. It's just range bound. You trade the range until it breaks. Okay? Simple as that. So that's it. It's a short and sweet one today. 20 minutes in. Cool. So obviously that's Atom, that's Matic, and that's a recap on NIR and KDA. Obviously, if you guys want to learn how we trade, then first things first, go over and check out our website. Links down in the description. On our website, we've got access to our free Discord here, where we share loads of ideas on altcoins, Bitcoin, Forex, and stocks. You know, we've got a really big community over there now. It's growing rapidly recently, and it's great to see. If you guys then want to trade like we trade and learn from us, and want to check out our educational content, then check out the Copilot section. Brief description here. You know, you get access to the community. You get weekly live streams from me. There's hours upon hours upon hours of content on the website. In fact, we're just about to do a new live stream tonight, which is going to be a bonus step within the order flow modules. But as we can see here, you know, we've got fibs, we've got beginners, volume analysis, patterns, entering and managing trades, you know, where to pick stop losses and all that good stuff. You know, Elliott wave theory, we're finished now. Every other week we do a chat and chill live stream where I basically give you my high time frame areas of interest, where I'm looking at taking swing trades, and we also cover some low time frame stuff too for day trading. And then you've also got all the cheat sheets, which, you know, includes like your trade journals and things along those lines, position size calculators, all my levels of fibs, harmonics, etc, etc, etc. So, you know, there's loads of stuff on there, loads of stuff. Once again, big thanks out to Prime XBT for sponsoring today's stream. Links down in the description. And if you want an altcoin covering on next week's video, then leave a comment down below and let us know what you want covering, and we might take a look at it next week. Alright guys, that'll do for today. As you were, bye bye.